guys, I'm here, Sherry Criswell. Today I am going to do some inking on our hanging banner. Here's one that I have that's hanging up in the house for Halloween. So I'm going to change it up. I have another banner sheet and we're going to do this one more for Christmas. It's holiday. It's this one. Let's see. It's called Holiday Tree Farm. This should be really quite an easy one. I'm just going to do it all in black. And we're going to ink it. Now what I did with the banner, it's material, and ink sometimes on material will do what it naturally does, and it may bleed through a little bit. So to prep it ahead of time to try to help prevent that, I took a spray adhesive. Now this is for stencils, but don't ever spray this on our silk screen transfers. It'll block the netting and you won't be able to get a good print. But instead, I took it and I sprayed it on the material. I let it dry overnight. I like to do that naturally. It just makes sure, but you can tell a little bit, it's just a little bit tacky. So hopefully that will help prevent some of the bleeding. Okay. Let's take our design. This is a C size. It's a little bit bigger, but it's really perfect size for this banner. So again, it comes in this plastic container. It also has a hook on top, so you can hang it up in your closet or on a hanger. And then it's a good way to store it. Or if you have a drawer big enough, you can lay it flat. So again, this is a brand new transfer, so I do want to mark the back because you can use this over and over again. Let's see, I need a marker. Just mark this as the back. It looks like you can get the whole thing on the video. And we're going to use black velvet ink. And this is still the small squeegee, but that's my favorite tool, favorite squeegee. We have the angled squeegee, the hockey stick. It's not called that. That's what I call it. It has a small squeegee and then the curve around here to clean the jars with the paste. What else do we have? We have, and then the small one. We also have the Big Daddy. That's not what it's called either. But the big squeegee. Just not that much of a fan. So I seem to always go back to the small squeegee. It's just whatever works good for you. Okay, let's start this. And remember, sticky side of the transfer to the glossy side of the backing. That's how you're going to put it back. And that's why we mark this. All right, I am going to bend this down a little bit, because once I wash it and it gets wet, this will come loose. Which is good to know, just in case you get it stuck on itself. Put it under water in your sink and just slowly and patiently pull it apart. Because you can see all this netting on there. You don't want to stretch that out. It'll distort your transfer. Okay, let's put this to the side, and hopefully, this is very sticky, but you don't want to fuzz this when you're putting it on fabric, because you really do want it to go on here and seal it really good to try to prevent any of the ink to go through. Trying to get this, talking and trying to get this even, it's not easy for me to do. Okay. Now also we're going to use the ink mat. And this acts, it does two things. It's like a blotter so that the ink won't go through to your other surface. Like say you're doing it on a pillow, it won't go to the back side of your pillow. Or on the surface you're working on. So, and it also is sticky. So it'll help keep your fabric in place. So, let me put this out. The only way to do this, actually you don't even have to put water on this, and I wouldn't put any wipes on it because it will take the stickiness off. It's a little different than the transfers. So as you can see, there's still ink on it. Just let it dry naturally and then put it away. Okay, I'm going to put this on the bottom. Let's see. See where you can kind of feel where it's at. Really doesn't have to be straight. You just want to make sure that your design is covered. All right, now I'm just using my hands and I'm spreading it out, trying to get any of the air holes or air bubbles worked out. Well, here in Florida, I don't know what it's like by where you all are, but it's still warm and it was rainy today. It did stop right now, so we'll see. A little bit of sun coming out. How cold is it where you are at? Okay, this one should be so easy. The other thing I would do when I do ink on fabric is try to go the same direction. So if I'm going this way, I'll just keep going this way. Mostly, as best you can. It just helps to try to keep any bleeding from it. All right. All of our ink jars now have a white lid to them. I have some older ones. Actually, the ink has a longer shelf life than the paste does. And I kind of like it when it thickens up a little bit because it doesn't run as easy. And the other thing that's advantage to ink, see, this is still pretty liquidy, so, is that it takes longer to dry, so you have longer to work with it. You don't have to worry and hurry up so much like you do the paste. Now, usually what I'll do is put the ink above the netting so it doesn't soak in directly into the fabric until I'm ready for it to do so, mostly. I'm sure I probably will have to add a little bit more. It does soak in. You also got to be careful of your fingers because this is permanent and you will have a hard time getting it out of your fabric even before you heat set it. And you just take the ink and draw it down. I'm trying to do it all in one direction. It really is gliding on pretty smoothly. see how well this did, spraying it ahead of time with a spray starch. Hopefully we get a nice crisp design without any runs. And I don't know if you noticed, but there's a lot of detail in this, which is pretty cool. No weeding at all. You have all that work done for you. All you gotta do is be careful you don't get fingerprints on your material where you don't want them. Okay, now still same thing with the paste. You get up all the excess, put it back in the jar. You don't want any lines, and you want to make sure you got everything covered too. So check it over. All right. Make sure okay. I'm going to take it from this corner that I folded down, move it over, and try to do this without getting it on my hands. Pull it up. Ah, look at that. It did good. Look at that detail. Now that's cool. Imagine if you had to weed that. Oh, look at that. No. I would not even. That is cool. I love that. Now, once that is dry, I got ink from the transfer on my hands. So before I mess with that, I'll make sure my hands are clean. And dry. And then I'll show you how this works with the banner. Being careful because this is still wet. All right, first let's take the ink mat off. Now what you want to do after this is completely dry, and I usually just let it air dry on its own and overnight. And then I would take a heat press for, I think it's 305, it just depends on your fabric. There's a chart with it. For about 30 seconds, front and back. Or an iron, your hot non-steam setting, so your cotton, for 4 minutes, front and back. Both of these you want to put parchment paper in between the fabric and your heat source. Then you can wash them. All right. Show you what this is. Okay, this banner, it has the top and the bottom to it. And they're magnets. So this is the bottom. Oh, and it's got my finger pinched in there. It is, ouch, a strong magnet. So be careful. Okay, so I'd open this up, put this on the top, and put this one on the bottom. And you're ready to hang it up. And be careful you don't pinch your fingers. And that's it for today. Thanks guys for watching, and if you get a chance and you can sprinkle this for me, that'd be great. Just helps me get more views, more people to see it, and of course sprinkle is S-H-A-R-E. this, of course, is my website. So tell me that wasn't easy. And it didn't take very long, and the detail, I love it. So thank you. See you next time. Bye.